We are live right now on the Worldwide Sports Radio Network. Thank you for joining us on this wonderful afternoon, Wednesday, January 13th. Gentlemen, Mr. Box Office, sir, how you doing, man?
I'm good, man. How's it going? We got playoffs going. I hear you was locked in this weekend, Carl. I hear you was locked into these games, man.
Listen, let me tell you, yo.
I like that we've converted you.
I will tell you this.
Full-fledged fan, yo.
Yeah, listen, I will tell you, I watched every game this weekend. I was on my house hunt in the car watching the Bills game. Like, it was legit. Like, Deb looked at me like, yeah, Deb's like, this ain't the NBA. What are you doing? I'm like, listen, it's the playoffs, baby. It's the playoffs. I was really excited for it. So,
I feel like we gotta apologize to Deb for ruining her Sundays, yo.
Nah, she good. She definitely good. She good. Mr. Ricardo A10, Rockland County's favorite son. How you doing, sir?
Doing great, man. Happy to be here. Doing real good.
Greg Polius is in the building. What's up, sir?
What's going on? How you guys doing? Shout out to my Mets. Big week. Just gotta throw that in there.
Go ahead. Tell them why. Why is it a big week for you guys? Got a big trade?
We're talking baseball.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
There's a lot going on. Sir. We got a lot to cover today.
Pulled off a great deal, getting Francisco Lindor, one of the best shortstop in baseball, and somehow managed to get Carlos Carrasco to shore up what was already a strength in the Mets rotation. So that was a.
So does that instantly make you guys a contender? I don't want to make it.
No, not yet. Not yet. Okay. There's still some holes that we have to fill up as a team: bullpen, outfield, things like that.
Okay. And Declan, how you doing, sir?
Pretty good, Carl. Thanks for having me as always.
All right. So, say again.
You guys can hear me good?
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah,
we got a lot to talk about, but the first question I have is the most shocking loss this weekend in the wild card. Was it the Steelers losing, or was it Ricardo's Super Bowl bounce Seahawks losing? So, Rick, let me start with you. What was the most shocking loss for you for the weekend?
So I think overall, obviously, because I picked them to win the NFC, the Seahawks is the easy answer. I mean, but we've seen inconsistency from them all season. They've got to really, and even if we go back to when we did the division previews, one of the things I touched on is that offense must be consistent. It's got to flow. And they reached a certain point in the season where it just stopped flowing. So I don't know if that's coaching. I don't know if that's Russ. Russ definitely got really reckless with the ball way too many times. A lot of stupid turnovers. And I'm not just talking about this past game. I'm just talking about, maybe like the past 8-9 weeks of the season, So at face value, because that was my favorite and my pick to win the NFC, you could say, yeah, that's the more stunning loss. But the way that the Steelers lost, that's way more shocking to me than what happened with the Seahawks. I mean, remember one of the last things I said on the live, kind of take a parting shot at them is, you had an opportunity to keep this team out of the playoffs, and your mindset was, well, it's the Browns. We know we can take them. Not a big deal. Let them in. We'll beat them next week. And you see what happened. Juju come out there with his crazy takes, all that bulletin board material. And everybody likes to say, oh, people going to play hard anyway. Bulletin board material doesn't work and blah, blah, blah. That's BS. When you're dealing with the dynamic that you have historically with these two organizations, when you out there talking mess like that, saying things like that ahead of a playoff game, after they did just beat you the week before, whether you had the starters in or not, you don't do stuff like that. Hopefully this is a learning experience for that kid because Juju was wilding out there this season too. The way he was carrying on, he brought a lot of unnecessary heat to his team. And we saw how it unfolded. And to go out there, was it 28-0 at a certain point? I mean, that was wild, man. Pittsburgh might have to look at starting to hit reset sometime soon because, I mean, Ben obviously ain't it no more.
Declan, I think I owe you an apology because I kind of attacked you a few weeks ago about how the Steelers weren't overrated. And I'm watching that game and I'm like, man, I got to bite my tongue and just let the rookie of the year cook and say he was right. So you were right. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I got a tear in my eye. That was very nice of you, Carl.
Hold on, Deck. Before you go in, Deck, we got to give him 2 shout-outs because the Bills went out there and they competed, right? They showed us that they're out there.
So the rookies too. Listen, that means are we putting him early candidate for 2021 MVP starting off the year January now early?
He was shaky on the Lamar take, but he got 2 out. He's 2 for 1 right now. So you know what I mean. Shout outs to him for that one.
I mean, here's what I'll say about the Lamar take. Was I shaky in that I picked against them? Absolutely. 100%. But on the other hand, I was not trashing him all week. I said, first of all, that I didn't take really any stock into the 2 playoff losses. And second of all, I acknowledge that there's more than one way to play quarterback. And while, statistics will tell you he was shaky, everyone who watched the game know that he made the throws he needed to make. Does that make you elite as a passer? No, not necessarily. But did he dominate the game on the ground and make throws that a quarterback should make? Absolutely. So you really can't say much bad about him this week, and I'm not going to. So, I'll take my lunch handed to me on that one. But yeah, Josh Allen and the Bills were great. And Carl, the Steelers, geez, what did I say that when they were 8-0? I don't even know.
No, it was 11-0. I remember it.
11-0?
Yeah. You said they were the most overrated 11-0 team.
Most overrated 11-0 team.
And you know what? And you know why that's right? Because they finished 1-5. So I will have to say that yes, they were definitely at that point.
Okay, Greg, what are your thoughts over the weekend? What was the most shocking to you as far as the losses go?
As far as the losses go, it would have to be the Steelers. Not necessarily the fact that they lost; it's how they lost. I picked the Rams, so that didn't surprise me. I just thought with Seattle's offensive line. Thank you. With Seattle's offensive line and their diminished running game over the year, and the fact that Brian Schottenheimer is their OC, who I remember, who can't coach his way out of a paper bag when things don't go his way. I had a feeling that Aaron Donald at D-line will get to Russ, and they did.
Travis, what are your thoughts? I'm sorry. Go ahead, Greg.
I just want to rant on these Lamar haters real quick.
Oh,
yeah, I'm tired. I'm sick of them. Now, like Declan alluded to, there's more than one way to play quarterback now. Everybody's not your standard drop back 5-step, 3-step, 5-step, 7-step drop pocket passer. That's not what we see. They have the ability to do different things. And there was a section of fans that were literally rooting for Lamar to fail just so they could say he is overrated. And what the issue I have is, they say, oh, he hasn't won a playoff game. Mind you, he's led his team to the playoffs ever since he's been a starter. There are quarterbacks in the class that haven't even made the playoffs in his quarterback class. On top of that, he wins, right? He, like Declan said, he made the throws he needed to make. After he threw that bad pick, it was a bad pick. He played flawless football. He didn't turn the ball over. He made his throws. And you know what the detractors said, the haters? They said, oh, well, he only threw for 179 yards. Obviously, he's not an elite passer. But do you have to be an elite passer to win in the NFL? No. Trent Dilfer showed you that. And if we're going to continue to say that he's overrated, what are we going to say about guys like Carson Wentz and Sam Darnold and Daniel Jones, who haven't won anything ever? They haven't even made a playoff appearance. They've done nothing but lose. And they always say that these guys don't have anything to throw to. Carson Wentz played like dog shit. He got benched. They say he didn't have any receivers. All his receivers were hurt. Sam Darnold never had a supporting cast of playmakers. Daniel Jones, Evan Ingram stinks. All this. Who has Lamar thrown to? His best receiver is his tight end. He has a slot receiver playing his X. Like, if we're gonna call a spade, let's call it across the board. Don't wait till this man succeeds to try to throw trash to trash him. Say, oh, he's not that great.
I thought it was a little too early for anyone to be. I didn't take those comments seriously by people because it was a little too early in his career and not even giving him a chance to prove himself.
I don't know if you frequent a lot of football boards or football chat rooms, but that talk was crazy.
No, especially after last year, I saw that. Yeah, it was. But like I said, I thought it was a little too early for that because they were acting like he was, in his peak of his like a vet, and he's had only a couple seasons. So what did they expect? I mean, it takes time for him to grow and develop.
Go ahead,
Travis.
And I'll say before we jump, I just want to say something on that Lamar too, because way back, rookie season before he came in, I was one of those as well that was saying, man, you know what? I don't think this kid's gonna make it in the league. And after seeing him come in that first season, it's like, all right, you look good, you throw him out there, see what happens. Then you see his second season when the offense is tailored to him and whatnot. He's like, wow, you see how dynamic he is and how when you tailor an offense to the strengths of a particular quarterback, you can make him successful. It's like, there's no way you can deny the talent that he brings to that team, to that position. Again, it's a different way of playing the position than we are used to. Doesn't mean it's a bad way, man. That kid is absolutely phenomenal. And again, this is coming from somebody who coming into it. I remember having the back and forth with Irving, with Ant. I wasn't on the train either. But as soon as I seen it with my own eyes, I was there front and center, like, my bad. This kid's got it. We got to stop that talk.
Hi, Greg's daughter. Go. Travis, what was your most shocking from the weekend? Was it the Steelers? Man, you go with the Steelers too, or
it had to be the Steelers? But I'm not gonna sit here and necessarily. We talked about the Steelers. We see what the issues are. I'm gonna give more props to the Browns here in this situation, man, because I'm pretty sure votes for awards are submitted that week after the regular season. So I'm pretty sure the awards are already put in. But if they have it, it's clear to me that Kevin Stefanski is a runaway for Coach of the Year, man. For the simple fact, this is what leadership is, in my opinion. Now, yes, we all know the type of leadership when you're able to lead your team, when you're there to call the shots and do all that. But also a key is putting people in positions to succeed when you're not there. People who are capable of carrying the show when you are not there, because you all know as a leader, you can't do everything. You have to learn to delegate. You have to learn to put people in the right position and know their strengths and their weaknesses. So not only was this team missing their head coach and play caller, they were missing their offensive line coach, their assistant offensive line coach. I have no idea who was coaching.
I gotta cut you, brother. I gotta cut you.
Breaking
news! Breaking news! Breaking news! The NBA strikes! The NBA strikes on the NFL segment. I love it. The NBA.
We all got it at the same time.
The NBA strikes. Travis, forget the NFL playoffs. Breaking news: James Harden has just been traded to the Brooklyn Nets. It's official. It's a done deal. It's a done deal. I'm getting close time. It's a done deal.
Carl, this is why you should listen to your ego.
I know. Yo, cuz, I'm going to call you back. I'm getting a FaceTime from my cuz. I'm live on my show right now. I'm going to call you back, cuz. I love you. I'm talking about it right now. James, and remember, I called this. Yeah, I called this way back.
I told you.
What is the deal? Who's going to
I don't know, but it just happened. Like, this is crazy.
I got to make a fake Woj tweet saying that KD.
So, Manny, wait a minute. Manny, why were you pulling up in the first? Were you pulling up to talk about the trade because you knew something we didn't know or no?
Yo, of course, my man. That's why I'm here right now.
Yo, Manny hit me. Was like, yo, Rick, I need the code.
Manny, you got it from Rick. I see you. Okay.
Shout out to Rick. Yeah. MVP in my book, my man. Shout out to Jarvis. Travis, shut up. Cause don't think I forgot what you did.
You let Raiders fans on the air. Come on, Manny Schefter.
Let's do a chant. Oh, 1, 2, 3. Bum ass Raiders. Man, shut up.
Don't get mad because they trash. Because
First off, I just want to say one thing.
Harden just got traded, and we're talking about the Raiders.
Right? Yeah, I know. What are we doing here? What are we doing here?
I'm about to take the code back.
Stay focused, man. Stay focused.
Listen, I don't even know what to do. Should I kick off the NFL and just bring in the NBA and tell you guys to wait for your time? I don't know what to do at this point.
The NBA team on.
Call. This is breaking news.
Travis is not even.
Go ahead, Greg. Do the breaking news again for those who didn't hear. Go ahead, sir.
Breaking news. James Harden just been traded to the Nets. If you could get Coach on the line, you get Coach on the line.
I'm trying. Hold on. Let me see if I can get
LeVert's involved, according to Zig.
Karis LeVert is involved.
I want to know the package. I need
according to
Zig.
Karis LeVert, Jared Allen, and could be a third team involved.
Oh, that hurts.
And Steve Nash. No.
Yeah, it's a done deal. I'm trying to get information.
So it's Karis LeVert, Dante Exum
is going to Houston.
Say that again. Go ahead, Rick.
My
Say it again.
fantasy team likes that Karis LeVert is going to Houston.
All right. It looks like it's LeVert, Exum. Who's that? Curix? I don't even know who that is. 4 first round. 4 first round picks.
Habs are involved.
Bad.
Yeah,
Man,
yeah.
that's
So,
a lot.
okay. So
Cavs,
this is
yeah.
what I'm.
All right,
Yeah.
all right. Can we talk about all right, what do we think this team? How we think of three of these
Okay,
guys, these three superstars, are going to blend together? Like,
So this is what I'm getting. It's getting the Harkins will acquire 4 first-round picks, and 4 pick swaps. Brooklyn Nets will send out Karis LeVert, Jared Allen, Taurean Prince, part of the package. So
That's a great deal for the Rockets.
yeah, that's the
That
deal.
hurts the Nets badly.
That hurts
Yeah.
the Nets. That hurts me. I thought I had a chance. I ain't got no chance now. Like, damn. Yo, I was praying. Yo, I was praying.
Poetic.
Listen. I was praying Kyrie retired and like, all right, that's my chance to win the East.
I mean,
Now I'm like, now it's like there's no even point.
Hold on. Time out. I'll be the one to throw the wet blanket on this one. Then, how do we know these three guys are going to be able to gel together? Because I have concerns.
Yeah, that's
Kyrie
that's a
gonna
big
retire
question.
now.
I have major concerns. We got
Harden
Kyrie.
and KD did play with each other. That's the only
All right,
thing.
so did Westbrook and Harden. That didn't work out.
Yeah,
But Westbrook is not KD, bro.
They were James Harden. They were different players back then. James Harden was a different guy.
I think
We're
Steve Nash implemented kind of the style of play similar to Steve Kerr did in Golden State with the ball movement and the flow of the offense. I think will help. And there's not. I don't know if you have you guys watching this. Manny can speak to this.
That's not James Harden's game.
But you know what?
Yeah,
Here's
but
the other
thing is, Travis, you need to understand. We have Mike D'Antoni on the coaching staff.
right. But here's the issue though. The
And
Brooklyn
he knows
Nets.
how to use
You know what it is. Early on, we saw the Brooklyn Nets have defensive problems. Now you just traded arguably your best defensive player in Jared Allen.
Pretty
What
much.
do you do? So what do you do at that point now?
And don't forget, Karis LeVert coming off the bench helped us tremendously.
What does this mean for
Especially after
Christian
last
Wood
night.
on the Rockets? That's what I want to know.
Ooh, that's a good question.
I don't know. But guys, we have a lot more coming along with the with the NBA panel. They'll be tapping a little bit later on as we break down this trade. Before I let you guys go, we still have to talk about the NFL. Well, Ricardo's coming back in. We have to talk about the NFL.
Talk. I gotta go.
All right, homie. Thanks.
I gotta go though.
Coming in.
For
those who didn't know, for those who didn't know, breaking news: James Harden has just been traded to the Brooklyn Nets. At a time right now where we don't know what's really going on with Kyrie, but we're going to dive in more into it a little bit later on. We're in the midst of talking about.
If you didn't get it on your ESPN ticker, you got to hear first.
You got to hear. You got to hear.
That's why you tune in. That's why you tune in.
That's how we got here. We could definitely keep talking about it during the show, but we wanted to tap in and tell people about the NFL playoffs this weekend, making predictions. Is it still too early to make predictions? You guys want to wait?
Because we don't even know who's playing quarterback for the Rams.
Yeah. We can break down, but let's not do predictions.
Right.
We don't want to do predictions.
I'm giving predictions.
We don't know if Aaron Donald's playing. Nope, I'm not making a prediction today.
Aaron Donald's a go.
We don't know what his condition.
I have a Rams source that says Aaron Donald's a go.
One good swim move and somebody get them ribs, it's over. So we don't know what the condition going to be. And then it's the Rams.
So I'm actually
okay. So if we're not making predictions, could we try to make Okay, so Rams Packers. What do we got?
Hold on. It's been 30 seconds since we mentioned James Harden got traded. Can we mention it again?
We can mention it all night long if you guys want. James Harden got traded. That's the Bible. Like I legit want to scrap you guys off and just talk about James Harden trade, but I know that's not fair. We can't do that.
Nah. We good. We can ride a little bit. Come on, man.
No. I'm gonna let y'all rock. But it is. Listen. This does shift a lot. I mean, now for your Flakers, you guys should feel a little threatened, just a little bit. You know, just a little bit.
I'm still
shifted back to Rams Packers.
Right. There we go.
We all over the place. Okay, Greg. Rams Packers. I'm sorry. Rams Packers. As you cook, I'm trying to rebook my segment and see if I can get the NBA team to come on now. So go ahead.
Got you.
Go ahead.
I'm actually gonna go with the Rams in an upset here. Again, I believe Cam Akers healthy. The Rams, their strength is the run game. Green Bay Packers, their weakness is the run defense, right? Aaron Rodgers is Aaron Rodgers, but it doesn't matter who's at quarterback. They just have to be a game manager and control the clock like they did in Seattle. And I could see them, coming away with a 3-point victory or something like that. And I think the D-line with Bulaga hurt, I think is it Bulaga?
Oh, yeah, the left tackle, yeah, Brian.
Yeah.
No, not Bakhtiari.
Yeah, Bakhtiari. Yeah, with him hurt, I think that, and the shuffle, they had to just sign the dude off the indie practice squad who started against the Bills. I think that's going to throw a
That's
little.
wild.
It is.
So you say so you're saying Packers?
No.
No, you're saying Rams.
Bro.
You're saying
I
Rams.
think the
He's not even
Rams.
paying attention to us.
I know. I'm not. I got all these calls. I feel like the Woj. My phone is blowing up. Yeah, my phone is blowing up.
I'll host it. Go ahead. Do
Go
what
ahead.
you gotta do. Rick.
All right, go ahead.
Exactly. Give us your thoughts on this Rams and Packers game, man. Go ahead. Show us
All
what
right,
you got.
Rams-Packers game. I like where Greg's head is at and picking the Rams for the upset, because there always is an interesting team like the Titans were last year that could make some noise, and I don't necessarily think it's a bad idea to pick the Rams. However, I'm not going to have to rock with it, only because I just think that the Packers offense with Aaron Rodgers, and no hot takes here with Adam. I think Adams is going to really run wild on Jalen Ramsey.
Really?
I think it's going to be too tough for them to stop. It's not even just like it's Devontae Adams versus Jalen Ramsey. It's Devontae Adams with Aaron Rodgers throwing the football. I just think it's too tough to stop. I don't necessarily see a huge upset here. I don't think it's going to be a blowout either, but I am so concerned with Jared Goff with that thumb. Obviously now Wolford, I'm assuming he's not even going to be active next week. I don't know if they signed anybody off the practice squad yet, or free agency, whatever they do for COVID. So I think it's going to be a really close game. But I think the Packers, at some point, it's just going to be too much.
Rick, what do you think?
Yeah, I think I look at it like for me, Aaron Rodgers has proven that he is probably the most trustworthy quarterback in the league, not named future GOAT Patrick Mahomes. So I look back to what happened in Pittsburgh this past weekend. Again, the mental aspect of the game. I can totally see where Aaron Rodgers is looking at that and like, that can't be us. We can't let that be us. He's getting down to those last handful of years where he's really going to be able to dominate. And I think he knows that. This is a season of like, I don't want to say redemption, but of saying, hey, y'all forgot about me. You know what I mean? For Aaron Rodgers. So it's one of those games where I fully expect him to go out there and cook and win. At the same time, everything.
Wait, time out. I'm sorry, guys. Karis LeVert got traded to the Pacers for Victor Oladipo. Carry on. Go ahead.
Whoa, just 2 minutes ago.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So, I'm looking at that, and people always talk about the weather aspect. We don't know what type of elements we're going to get out there in the frozen tundra. But guess what? The Rams are a team that, despite playing in sunny, beautiful Southern California, is a team that is pretty well equipped to go down into a snowy, cold mess, run the ball, play hard defense, and kind of contend with that. So I think we're going to get a really good game. The quarterback aspect on the Rams side is going to be huge. Cam Akers is a monster. I think it took him a while to get going, but now that he's flowing, that kid is a beast. We're going to get a great game, but again, if I had to lean, I'd trust Aaron Rodgers to pull it out.
Declan, who did you get in this game? Because I know Greg said the Rams. Rick,
I have to go with the Packers. Upsets, typically, you see more of them in wild card weekend. Divisional is where the chalk starts to come in.
Okay, Trav, who you going with?
Man, this is going to be a difficult one right here because, like you said, we have two very talented teams, man. I found it hard to.
What are you, a politician?
Wait, first of all, let me get into it because I already said y'all not getting a pick out of me, but I'm gonna break down the game.
Well, hurry up, man. We gotta talk about NBA, man. The NBA team is on deck. They waiting.
We got trying to get us up out of here.
Yeah, yo, hurry up, man. Hurry up. I'm about to kick y'all off, yo.
We got 5 minutes.
We got a great matchup on the outside against Ramsey and Devontae Adams. It's two different conflicting styles right there because Ramsey's a very physical corner, and Devontae Adams, as we've seen, is very good off the line. So I'm interested to see that. Depending on how I need to know the health of Aaron Donald. I think Greg reported that he's probably going to play, but still, one good shot to them ribs could mess you up. I need to see who's going to be a quarterback because if Jared Goff is in there, how is that hand with them pins still in it going to react in that cold? So I need to see what's going to happen with that. I mean, right now, as it's presently set, I would probably lean towards the Packers. But because, like I said, I like the way – the one thing about the Packers, my issue with the past couple of years, has been them going up against physical teams. They've been out physical against a lot of teams. But they showed me a few things this season, especially against that Tennessee game, that they're ready to step up to the big boy plate and get physical with teams. So I think they're going to be able to handle this game.
Equipment-wise, though, I honestly, with Jared Goff's thumb, I would expect a lot of quarterbacks have done it going into Lambeau in general, but especially with the thumb, I would expect him to wear gloves.
So, Travis, you're saying Packers?
Yeah, give me the Packers.
Okay. So let me cut you guys a deal here. So since these are the Saturday games, Sunday we'll have our regular kickoff for the two games that are playing on Sunday. The other Saturday game is the Browns Chiefs. Is it fair to say that the Chiefs are going to win this?
I thought the Bills and
I thought it was Bills and
I think.
Wait, hold on 1 second. Are the Bills playing Saturday?
Bills are at Saturday night.
Bills are Saturday night?
The Ravens are Saturday night. Sorry.
Okay, sorry. So the Ravens and Bills, who do we have there?
I got the Ravens.
That's a tough one.
Yeah.
Greg's going Ravens.
The Bills just signed Devontae Freeman off the Giants because Zach Moss got hurt. Their running game already struggled. Yeah, Josh Allen got the big arm and Stephon Diggs. But if one team can put the clamps on Josh Allen and that passing game, it's the Ravens.
I don't know. I think Stephon Diggs is going to go out there. He's going to want to go out there and give Marcus Peters the business. I don't think
Marcus Peters. It's going to be Marlon Humphreys on him, not Marcus Peters.
Either one.
I don't think either one of them are going to shadow them, though. They'll definitely do a slot.
Right.
It's going to be it'll be a rotation, yeah.
Either one of them, I think he can give either one of them.
Okay, so Trav, again, Packers and Ravens or Bills?
Come back to me. Who else we got? Come back to me.
Rick?
I'll go, man. I think, again, I like what I've been seeing from the Ravens coming down the stretch. They look like a different team than, that was 6-5 or whatever they were just a couple of weeks ago and, left for dead. But at the same time, man, I can't keep denying what I'm seeing from that Bills offense. If that Bills offense is going to keep clicking like that, man, it is absolutely remarkable what the addition of Stephon Diggs to that team has done for Josh Allen, for the offense, for the team in general. They've got the crazies out there jumping through burning tables, even though it's only 21% of them. I think the Bills are really poised to go see KC for this AFC crown.
Well, you know what? I think your brother would disown you if you didn't pick the Bills. So
yeah, I gotta hold down Big Bro too.
Yeah. So I think you, by default, you have no choice but to go to the Bills. Shout out to your bro. Declan, who you got?
I mean, this is a really exciting game in my eyes. Obviously, you guys know that Josh Allen's my boy, so I definitely want to see him win. But if there is a team that I think could give the Bills the most struggles in this postseason, aside from Kansas City, it would be Baltimore. That defense up the gut is pretty elite in terms of Derek Wolfe and Calais Campbell. They're the second-ranked defense for a reason. You saw them shut down Derrick Henry. It's going to be a different game plan, though. Josh Allen, obviously, that team has no running game. He was essentially, and you're going to hate me for saying this, but we all saw the game. It was like he was a one-man show out there running that offense. Led the team in rushing. Threw for 340. I think he was the first player in playoff history to throw for over 70% completion percentage, over 300 yards, a passing touchdown, a rush touchdown, and lead his team in rushing. Some ridiculous stat that doesn't really make sense, but it totally shows how he did carry that team. But again, the Bills have had trouble stopping the run. So the Ravens are a running scheme, power running on that offense. So I think it's going to be tough to contain Lamar and really set the edge there. But I'm just going to have to go with the Bills in this one. I think that their offense is really going to take over. I would expect this game to be deep into the 30s. Very different game from what the Ravens played last week.
Okay, so Declan goes Bills, Rick goes Bills. Greg, you're going Ravens, right?
Yep.
And Trav?
I'm gonna go with the home one. I'm gonna go with the home team on this one, the Bills. Man. It's purely a home field advantage.
You were coming on since last Wednesday.
It's
all right, guys. As much as I want to sit here,
I don't make my picks till at least in my head.
Listen, as much as I want to sit here and talk about the rest of the other two games, we'll cover the.
Said that's it.
That's it, yo. I gotta go. Yo, listen.
I need basketball.
Yo, listen. The basketball team's coming in. Yo, the basketball team's coming in.
Look, they burn rushing already. Look at it.
I'm sorry, gentlemen. You guys gotta go. You guys gotta go. You guys gotta go. Hit the road, Jack. Hit the road, Jack. I'm sorry, guys. You gotta go.
I'm sticking around to be the wet blanket because I want my
I'm out of here.
Coach, tell me how this is all gonna fit with the three of these guys, man. That's all I need to know. Tell me how it's gonna fit because I got my questions.
All you need to know is what's in my screen right now. Just look behind my screen right now. I will predict. Predict what's gonna happen. Gotcha.
That's all. I just need one of y'all to answer that for me. How is the three gonna fit? Because I have questions about that, man.
Listen,
I'm worried about it.
That's something that you watch us as we break it down. Coach will give us the information to let us know how we work it out. And I'll see you guys on Sunday to break down the other two games. We have the Browns and the Chiefs, and then the Bucks and Saints, which is a dream matchup if you can think about it. Tom Brady versus Drew Brees in the playoffs.
Yeah, NFL been waiting on that one.
Yeah, for sure. So we'll definitely tap that one in on Sunday's pregame kickoff show. Will be 12:15 for that. So you guys take care. Thanks for joining us.
Hey, Carl, you owe us some time, man.
I do. Harden took over. I'm sorry. I have to do. Listen, I have to do what's best for business right now.
You got it.
You're watching the Sports Hit List by the fans and for the fans. As we continue to break down breaking news, James Harden got traded to the Brooklyn Nets. Ziggy Zig is coming in as my NBA contributors are coming in. Coach, let me start with you. We did call this. Brooklyn is winning. First they get Kevin Durant, they get Kyrie Irving, and now they get James Harden, an MVP, another MVP. What are your thoughts with the breaking news?
I mean, Brandon could tell you. Me and Brandon talk a lot offline, and I even when it didn't happen, and I said, I think like 2 months ago, I put it in the hit list. I said, James Harden's going to be a net. What do you guys think about? And it didn't happen initially. I knew it was only going to come because that's the league, the way we are with the league right now. Other teams, they leak that information so other teams can throw counter offers to make the Nets give up picks and give up players that they didn't want to initially give in that first agreement. But that's where he wanted to be. And listen, it's like that Boston trade when they got the big three. If you win one championship, that's all that matters. That's all that matters for the Nets. They just want to win one championship, and that trumps the Knicks for 50 years. Period. That's it. It's a battle for the city. They win one championship.
Glad you know that, man.
I know the truth. It's the truth. It's just the truth. They win one championship, and that's what they put all their ducks in right now. And I would have put the same move.
Brandon, are you feeling a little bit more nervous now to threaten the throne of your king as he tries to his quest for his 5th championship with the Nets acquiring James Harden?
To be honest, not at all. I'm like, as a media personality now, it kind of changes the way I look at the sport. No, for real, all kidding aside. I want to see the best matchup possible. This is exciting for the league. I think it's good for the game. Part of me wanted Harden to go to Philly because I thought that could have been one team that could actually challenge Brooklyn in like the Eastern Conference Finals or something. But with him going to the Nets, I think the biggest thing is this is going to be a chemistry experiment with who knows what's going on with Kyrie. Harden.
Breaking news.
Those are the three that.
Well, hold on. More breaking news.
Yo, I'm sorry, Brandon. I just saw something on my phone that maybe I said it already, but they flipped Karis LeVert for Victor Oladipo.
Yeah. I said that. Yeah, they did.
I just saw it. My fault.
Yeah,
I got a little excited. It's on and popping right now.
Yeah, they did.
My bad, Brandon. My fault, Brandon.
You're good. So the thing that I like about this is it's going to be a chemistry experiment. I like that New York, our home state rather, is a title contending team, and they will get out of the East. Like now, I think it's for sure. And you know what? This is probably going to be one of, if not the best finals matchup I am going to see in my lifetime. The Lakers and the Nets, the teams are pretty even right now. The Nets got more top heavy, losing Karis LeVert. They obviously lost Spencer Dinwiddie due to injury, and they lost Jarrett Allen. But they got the 3 best ISO scorers in the league. And the Lakers still got that best duo with 2 of the top 3 players on the planet Earth. So I believe this is exciting for the game. I'm excited to watch it. And we are in for the best finals matchup we may see in our lifetimes. I'm so excited.
Rick, just to clarify, Victor Oladipo to the Rockets. So Jared Allen was traded to the Rockets, but now he's going to the Pacers for Victor Oladipo. Ziggy Zig, what are your thoughts here, man, with this trade here? I got the NFL team off as quick as I could.
Yeah. It was time to get them out of here. The minute that trade went down, you should have just kicked them right off. And
send the invite to all of us, and we was just gonna pull up together. So
Big facts. I was in the waiting room already. I was like, it's time for them to
there you
go.
go. Like they'll get their time on Sunday. So with that being said, man, you saw how we all was reacting just now. It's ridiculous. I mean, a lot of people kind of saw it coming, but it was just a matter of when. But I'm still just trying to get the information down. I'm writing it down, seeing who went where and what. My only concern with this trade, right, is like Max said, if they win a championship, they go ahead. They in front of the Knicks. Some people already got them ahead of the Knicks. My thing is they traded a lot of draft picks, and if they do not get the championship in at least 3 to 4 years, that's gonna look real bad, man. It's gonna look real bad. And I'm wondering what's gonna happen now that Jared Allen is not on the team anymore. When DeAndre Jordan goes to that bench, who's gonna be that person to pick up the inside when you have to deal with when Kemba comes back, all those guards, Trae Young and those type of dudes. All of that being said, I got the Nets coming out the East, man. This is amazing. I'm not even gonna lie to you. They coming out the East. I think I made a good switch adding that black and white to the team. I can't wait. And looking at your face. Hold on. No. You spoke already. Looking at your face.
One thing.
No. You don't like being interrupted. Let me finish real quick. Looking at your face, Carl, it makes me happy because I hate this topic, and I'm so glad.
You can see that, right? You can see that, right? Yeah, I know.
You cursing, Brandon. The floor is yours, bro.
So all the goofballs out there killing me to saying the Nets are getting out of the East now. I want an apology. And well, hold on. I called this slow start that the Nets would have. Did it go as ideally as it said? Not necessarily. I predicted before the season, I said on camera numerous times, the Nets will start 8-7. And right now they're on pace at 6-6. So for all the goofballs out there trolling me about the Nets, I just want
That's only because Kyrie ain't been there, not because of anything else.
In June, you can apologize for that as well. The Nets are going to the finals, and they will make the finals in 15 games or less.
Anthony, you said in the comments, I thought you said you didn't like the trade. Is that true?
I hated it. As a die-easy Nets fan, I hated it.
Why did you hate it? Because you feel like the Lakers, like they're going to threaten the Lakers' throne, or why?
Not at all. Still repeat. It's still on schedule. Not at all.
Okay, so why did you hate the trade?
I didn't like it because I liked our team better before it was, kind of dismantled by Harden. Like I liked it better with everything.
Wait, hold on. You said our team.
Yeah, our team.
Yeah.
He's a Brooklyn Nets fan, Max.
Nah, man, nah.
Brooklyn.
We're not doing this, man. We're not doing this. You can't just have East Coast. This ain't Tupac and Biggie. You pick your best rapper on the side.
Why not?
What
do you mean? I was born and raised in Brooklyn. I'm rooting for the Lakers.
I was born in Brooklyn. I was born and raised in Brooklyn too. What does that mean? That doesn't mean anything. So what does that mean?
No, you wasn't. Stop it. You was born in Rhode Island somewhere.
No. I moved to Long Island. I was born in Brooklyn.
Sure. But like I said, I like the team better before. Again, I like us now, but again, I just liked us better before. I don't like losing LeVert or Allen. But again, we'll see what happens. We'll see how it works. I don't even like the three pieces of Kyrie, KD, and Harden unless Harden is going to actually take that step back. Especially like somebody said, oh, they have D'Antoni. That's actually not a good thing. That's a bad thing because we've seen what D'Antoni let Harden do or whatever the case. So that's not going to work over there. So I want to see what happens. But again, I don't like it.
Okay, Coach.
You gotta like it.
So giving up Karis LeVert, giving up Jared Allen, that does make their roster a little bit thin. I mean, clearly you have a big three, but we all know when it comes down to the playoff time, you need your others. And I always like to say that the others are clearly underrated. Where do the Nets fill in the gap? And clearly they've been having their defensive problems early on, and you give up Jared Allen, who was one of your key defensive players. What do they do now?
I mean, they got to fill in the gaps from within. Guys got to step up. The biggest thing that we haven't talked about, we talked about it before, is what really hurt the Nets is Spencer DeWitty going down. Yeah. Like that, he can guard, he defends, he's a strong player off the ball, on the ball. He's a guy that really would have gave that second unit a little more grit, than they had before. But I'm not nervous about losing Jared Allen. Like, who was the backup center? Like, Kevin Looney became a household name when he was with the Warriors. Like, nobody knew who Kevin Looney was. And with the Warriors, when you play with those type of offensive firepower, your defense can trickle down just a little bit because teams have to stop you as well. That's the biggest thing. Who's going to stop that three-headed monster? Hopefully Kyrie comes back with a head on straight. when he wants to come back and when he feels like he's able to, participate in basketball activities. But who's going to stop those three guys on offense? And then you still got guys like Joe Harris, who can really shoot the ball. That they're spreading the court. I think they have probably a better offensive team than it's neck and neck with the Warriors that year when they had Steph Clay and Curry. The only difference is Draymond Green plays that point forward, so he's off the ball and he can really move the ball around to other guys. Well, on the Nets team, who's going to be the guy that really facilitates? That's
Mac,
my question.
My fault, Mac. Real quick, you said Steph, Clay, and Curry. Did you mean KD?
I mean, excuse me, Steph, Curry, and KD. My apology.
Okay.
Yeah, Steph, Clay, and KD. Like just the way they spread the court and they allowed other players to be open. Remember, the Warriors were leaving Livingston and Iguodala open. You can't leave Joe Harris open like that. You can't.
Allen should have been the starting center also, though. He was really only on the bench because it was, so it's not like he wasn't a piece to me. He should have been starting. If not already, he was definitely going to be starting later on.
I agree.
So with this Kyrie situation, when does he return? Is this still a issue now? I think this trade kind of knocks his storyline and what's going on with him out the water, and people are now focused on the trade. But now getting him back to the team, does he even come back? When does he come back? Warren, what are your hearings about what's going on with Kyrie?
It's a lot going on in the camp. A lot of people being replaced, a lot of trainers being replaced, a lot of yes men being replaced. It's a lot of things going on in the camp right now. And first and foremost, the thing that wants to happen is for Kyrie to get his headspace right and deal with whatever he needs to deal with. We can't everyone pushes this mental health thing in terms of all types of work. Everybody deals with different dramatic situations in a different way. And they say, take the time you need until you get back. Well, that's what he's doing. The biggest thing is he's been in contact with the Nets organization. They know where he is. It's not like it's a APB out that we don't know where Kyrie Irving is. Exactly. They know where he is. They know what he's been doing. He's been updating them and talking to them, and they're trying to get him back. But there has been communications between the Nets and Kyrie Irving. So for all the people saying that, he just disappeared. Listen, you're not. For all the people in the comments who like, you can't do this at your job. That's why you have your job. Everybody's job is different.
Mm-hmm.
Your job makes you go every day, and you can't call out. His job allows him. He's a talent that a lot of people, we don't have that talent. So you can't put yourself and put your circumstance on his level and say, how can he take a day off and just because he can? He obviously he can do it.
We all can. No, we all.
But we all could get fired.
Yeah.
At his job, he got to work out a lot. A lot of people can't even make it to the gym. So let's not compare jobs.
Whoa! I need to start repping the sports hit list in the weight room. Shout out.
No, let's not go there. We you still throw out.
I throw around weight in that weight room.
My God. Falco, what are your thoughts though on Kyrie and his situation of being absent and what he has to do? What are your thoughts there with Kyrie?
I can't stand it. It's inexcusable. The only way I would accept this is if there's something actually family related or something amongst those lines. If that's actually proven too, I'll forgive him for this. But besides that, I don't forgive him whatsoever, and he should be held accountable for it. The Brooklyn Nets signed him to a 4-year deal worth $136 million. You are paid to show up and play and ball out. There are millions and millions
when he felt like it.
Who would die.
Hold on, Ed.
So time out. So when LeBron took that week off a couple years ago just to go to South Beach to refresh.
2015 with an injury?
No. When he took the week off, listen, injuries you do at you're paid to rehab at
15. He did it in 15.
Yeah,
he went to Miami. He went to Miami because he wanted to just refresh, restart, rejuvenate himself. That's what he wanted to do, and he did it, and it worked out. Like you can't like that's the thing. We're telling corporations and organizations how to run their business until the Nets general manager and the Nets coaching staff comes out and say this is inexcusable. We haven't been in contact with Kyrie. We don't know what's going on. We're all just flies on the wall trying to wait for any bit of information that we can hear. We don't know what's going on. And Brandon, I'm not coming at you because you have a right to your opinion. So whatever you're getting from the media, I understand what you're saying that he's paid and he should show up to work and such as that. But if his management and if the Nets management knows what's going on, we have no say to say how they run their organization. The ends justify the means for some NBA teams. That's what it comes down to.
Nobody knows what he's doing, why he's doing it. There's no.
The Nets know. The Nets know.
How do you know? How do you know?
You just don't know.
Because I know.
All right. So then tell us. Then.
You know, Matt can't say that. You know,
No, he can't do that. Like, no,
come on,
listen.
I just trying to put him on fresh.
I just told y'all.
I want to know.
I just told y'all.
Just because you don't know doesn't make it irrelevant. Like,
wait, hold on. I just told you guys. There's a lot. I gave you hints. I said there's a lot of movement in the camp. There's a lot of movement with trainers. There's a lot of movement with yes men. I'm not going to go into detail about what's happening, who's moving what, and who's getting out where. I'm not going to go into detail for that.
You got my number. Expect a phone call after this.
There's a lot of things going on, but I do tell you this: the Nets organization has been in contact and has talked to Kyrie Irving. That's a fact. He's been in contact with them, and they have been in contact back and forth. Now, are they happy with the time frame? No. Clearly, they wish he would be back earlier. They understood the first couple of days. They wanted to come back earlier, but he is dealing with what he has to deal with the way he sees best to deal with it. Better not to come back in a week and then go AWOL for the rest of the season than take the time you need and then come back, rejoin the team. And
listen, he can take all the time he needs. I'm fine with him taking the time he needs. He could take all the time he needs. He needs to take the playoffs. He needs to take till April, May, and June.
You are, Carl.
That's fine with me. If he wants to take
your call.
Carl, this goes kind of back to that, like when Jordan retired type situation. Like, I know there's so many theories when Jordan retired and why he had to retire, but he made the decision to retire, regardless of what that decision was. He needed the time to step away from the game, whether it was for betting, like people may think, whether it's for his father dying, whether for he just didn't love the game anymore at that time. He took the time and came back, and look what happened. The ends justify the means. The Bulls could have went crazy and said, how could you leave us? We ate MJ, boom, 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 and then he never comes back. The ends justify the means. They know what they're doing. They're trying to.
But honestly, though, my biggest issue with it is a matter of everyone is built different. Like, again, I joke around about it, but everyone is not entitled to do things because people expect you to do it. If his mind is not right for him to play basketball, who are we to tell him?
And I think that's the problem.
And tell him, and I think a little bit of it gets a lot too much because I'm just sitting here scrolling and reading and people saying, oh, Kyrie is this and Kyrie is a big baby. And I'm like, but you don't know his mental state. Everyone is not built the same way. So we can't have
Carl,
the level of expectations.
Let me ask you this real quick, Carl. Where are these people getting this information from?
The media.
Exactly.
Yeah, the media. So absolutely.
Also, can we put it in its proper perspective though? Especially for the people like Falco who talk about, oh, it's your job and this and that. Yes, it's your job, but guess what? There's levels to this. Okay, there's things called priorities. Okay, and as far as I don't know about for you, but for me, my mental health, my family, and things that I love comes before my job. So if things like that comes up, then guess what? My job is gonna just come last, and I'll have to attend to them when I, deal with them when I deal with them.
Ziggy, it's a family matter. I forgive them, so I already know. I acknowledge.
Ziggy, go ahead. What were you saying before that? Go ahead, sir.
I was just gonna say, basically, it's what I said to you guys in our chat, right? I said the reason why people get mad when players do this is because they themselves don't have the autonomy to make that decision for them. As Anthony just said, there's different levels to the job. You understand what I'm saying? So for me personally, when I saw Kyrie doing all of this stuff, I actually started to be like, yo, I mess with this dude, because before I didn't really care for Kyrie Irving like that, but just off of the fact that so many people who don't know the real information, because we don't know the information, we're just speculating, because you don't know the information and you take it upon yourself to bash Kyrie Irving, because I'm seeing it not just in the Hit List group, but in other basketball groups, you see a shit ton of people just disrespecting Kyrie Irving as if you know what the man is doing, as if you know what the man is going through. Right away, when Max said that, hey, the Nets have been in contact with Kyrie Irving, that's enough. Like, there's no more, I almost said the F word, I'm sorry. There's no more speculation to be talking about. Once the Nets are in contact with Kyrie Irving, just chill your ass out and wait for him to make his return back. And that's all I got to say about that. Like, let's stop thinking we know what these players are doing. We don't know. We don't know what these players are doing. Shout out to Kyrie Irving, whatever he's doing. I respect him doing what he got to do to take care of himself first, because at the end of the day, basketball is a game, right?
Okay. We have a quick tap in from COVID-free. Mr. Paul Lawson's in the building. He wanted to chime in real quick. I think that's the wife back there. Shout out to the wife. I see her. So
hey, man, this wasn't planned, bro. I'll let y'all cook. You know what I'm saying? I'm a fan. I'm watching the show, being a part of the game. But, the baby pickups, my daughter in the back seat. You know what I'm saying?
What's up, Peyton? How you doing, baby girl? What's going on?
I just wanted to jump in and say, listen, man, there's a lot of backlash. I've been watching y'all spit. I've been listening to Mac speaking the truth. I'm listening to Zig. Yo, the thing about Kyrie, bro, like I've come to accept it, right?
Right.
Kyrie, we need to start looking at Kyrie with a different lens, only off the rip that at one point people was looking at Colin Kaepernick crazy, right? The same way my parents probably was looking at Muhammad Ali crazy. So I'm all for it. If you stand for something, you know what I'm saying? You got to go with it, right? Because at the end of the day, bro, if Kyrie is established financially and in a name perspective forever, that's never going to change. We know who Kyrie is, right? So why would you jump on board? He's been consistent. He wasn't on board with playing pre-bubble. He wasn't on board necessarily with coming back, but he had an obligation to do so. And I appreciate the fact that he's holding the NBA's feet to the fire in regards to accountability, because the whole fist and the names on the back of the jersey, that's all cute. But the reality is it hasn't really translated to jack shit. Excuse my French, right? So when you think about what Kyrie's trying to do, joining the Manhattan DA for a Zoom call with a bunch of people who are really 150% invested into trying to change the culture and change the narrative, right? And change what we think as, I hate to single out our community, but African Americans, what we think is acceptable from a social obligation perspective. I applaud Kyrie wholeheartedly for standing for that. And who cares, right? Like his sister's birthday happens. I don't care if he's at a party. It's his sister. You know what I'm saying? So, they're going to try to continue to paint these media photos. I don't even know if that was a real image from yesterday. It don't matter. As far as I'm concerned, I appreciate what Kyrie's doing. The Nets did what they had to do today from a business perspective, right? Because whether he's there or not, Harden's acquisition makes sense for basketball. But hey, I'm all for it, bro. I fully accept it, and I just wanted to throw that out there while it was live with y'all before I pull off.
All right, thank you, Paul. We appreciate the comments, man, and we'll talk to you soon, man. God bless.
All right, bro.
All right, Coach. I wanted to.
No, I just want to ask Mac. Who was that? Who was the WNBA player Maya Moore? Who gave her,
she quit.
Didn't she give her right for
she retired to work on prison reform and actually ended up marrying the person I believe that she helped get out of jail for being wrongfully accused. And people went crazy when she retired, but the thing is, it wasn't as big as Kyrie because the WNBA is not as big as the NBA yet. So it's not like nothing we haven't seen before. We've seen it before.
Do you think she should have just went to work?
Huh?
Do you think she should have just went to work, being that she had a job to do and all of that stuff?
I mean,
that was more important than what she was out there doing.
I'm all for family first. I don't know Kyrie's situation. I don't, but like if it's just
the guy who she retired for wasn't even family. She didn't even know him.
No, he's talking about Kyrie. So he was asking you about Maya Moore.
I'm saying with Maya Moore again. So should these people? You said he should, regardless of what's going on, that he has an obligation to play basketball, as if his other obligations aren't as more important than basketball.
I just feel like you shouldn't necessarily just look at it as playing basketball like you're playing. It's still your job. Like
that's what it is. So you shouldn't look at it as anything more than that.
No, but if it's not family, I don't think anything should be above your job.
Okay, Coach, let me ask you this. The COVID doesn't seem to be going anywhere anytime soon, and we've seen some of the new rules. We've seen some of the player backlash. What I've been reading is a lot of players are just unhappy with the season as a whole. So what's the solution here? Should the NBA take a 2-week break to kind of, wrap their heads around COVID? Should they bring back the bubble? Are we going to be able to see more cancellations going on? What's the end solution here?
I mean, they have to get together as a group, the NBA Players Association, and figure out as the product, as the people who are on the court, what are they comfortable doing? If they're comfortable playing and if games are getting postponed and changed, look what the NCAA is doing. Those kids are going through the same situation. Every day there's a postponement, there's a cancellation, there's a rescheduling of the games, and that's because the colleges and universities, they decided on it. Well, the NBA, the players decide on it, not the NBA as a total. And you see what George Hill said. He said, well, I'm not going to stay away from my family. If you're going to tell me to stay away from my family, maybe we shouldn't be playing right now. It's very different than the NFL. See, this is where the NFL kind of gets the heads up because they do play on 2 days instead of the NBA. The NFL is okay with just, one day they play and you can reschedule just one game a little easier than you can schedule 3 games within a week. It hurts your product a little bit more if you don't know who's coming on the TV and the advertisement, because it's about money. The advertisers are looking at the matchups and who's playing regionally and seeing what commercials they want to put on in different spots to make money. And that's what it comes down to. They don't want to have a wild card game every day in terms of advertisement. But I think you don't pause. I think, you continue, and as things come up, you have to reschedule because you already set the course. Or, they're not going back into a bubble. Players are not doing that. They're not going into a bubble for the season. They're not going to accept that.
Falco, what are your thoughts here with the COVID and the postponement of games? What should the NBA do to regulate the situation?
Work around it. When something's difficult, you don't run from the situation. The MLB had the same problem. The NFL had the same problem. You cancel a few games, you reschedule them. Everything's going to be fine. I'm going to take my new favorite quote now is an old one from Aaron Rodgers. RELAX, relax. It's fine. You'll get through it. You'll work around it. They'll get through the season just like every other sport has already. It's not that big of a deal.
Zig, what are your thoughts here with the postponing of games and this reshifting and teams having 7-player rosters? I know Doc Rivers was complaining about it, saying how, his bench having players play 40 minutes is going to mess up his rotation. What are your thoughts with that?
Well, personally, for me, I'm okay if the NBA shut it down, because at the end of the day, we are talking about a situation, and some of you guys already know how I feel about this whole COVID-19 stuff, but people are being affected by this. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm okay with it being shut down, but I think I gotta echo what Falco just said. You can do what you got to do, work around it. Similar also to what Max said, get the Players Association, get their ideas, see what they could do about it, and just make a move from there. It's really sad what's going on. In regard to that, regarding that whole 7-man rotation, we all saw that post from Jamal Crawford, where it's like, hey, if you having 7-man rotations, maybe you need to start, getting a few G League dudes involved and just get these guys playing and keep the game going. You know what I'm saying? I agree with that, because Jamal Crawford definitely could still play ball. It's a shame that he's not on the team right now, especially he could play that veteran role where he could kind of help groom these young guys, because the NBA is getting younger and younger by the year. I think the average around when Kobe and T-Mac was there was 28 years old. Now the average is about 22 years old. So get some of these veterans in there, get some of these G League dudes who are just biting to get into the NBA to show what they got.
Ant, what are your thoughts here with the postponement of games, and how does the NBA manage through this COVID crisis?
Oh, first of all, let me start. Like Zig said, personally, I hate it for my fantasy team, because it's like these guys are out for weeks at a time. Like I said, it's not like with the NFL, it's just maybe a game, and then like I said, you just have to reschedule a game. These are 3, 4. Some guys, they might play again 4 games within a week or something like that. So I need these points. I need these stats. So of course I need guys to not be out. So I would like them actually to change the protocol to make it where that guys for contact tracing maybe just be out for maybe 2 to 3 days or so like that until they get their negative test and be able to come back. But on a real note, again, as Joel Embiid said, it's all about the money. We all know this. It's about the money. They're gonna make sure that they get enough of the bag as they could. They're gonna salvage enough of the bag as they can. I don't know why. Again, like I said with the Sixers, they force them to force people out there, and then with other people they allow them to postpone the game. So that's just confusing. They're trying to make it seem more difficult because they're trying to make it seem like they're so I guess, trying to combat COVID and trying to be respectful. But again, there's but so much you can do. That's why George Hill came out and said, I'm not living in a literal bubble where I'm not going to see my family or anything like that. You can't do anything. So this is just what it's going to be. So I'm cool with that. But I think the NBA needs to stop, again, trying to enforce things that really won't matter in the long run. It's actually just hurting the product.
Coach, real quick, do you agree with Jamal Crawford's comments about incorporating expanding rosters?
100%. I mean, that'll give you a pool of players who are going to be tested, who we're going to know if they are COVID-19 or not, contact tracing, because they're going to be in the G League. And if you need to call somebody up, you can get them safely to arena, get them tested, and get them playing. Like these are, if you're going to play. I'm on the side that if they decided, not to play, I'm not gonna be angry at them. This is everyone's health, personal situation. If you feel safe with it, I'm with you. If you feel things should be opened up, That's your opinion. I'm with you. You're entitled to your opinion. I'm not going to argue with you over your opinion because that's what you truly believe in. If you believe you shouldn't be playing, I'm with you as well because that's what you truly believe in. So that's why I keep saying the NBA Players Association, they're associations. They have signed to have those representatives make their decisions on behalf of them. Get together and make a decision and then stick by your decision.
Okay, real quick. Mike, you got it? Mike, can you hear me?
Oh, Mike here?
Yeah, Mike pulled up real quick. He just got out of a meeting. I know he was hot. I was holding off for Mike. Mike.
Yo, Carl, I got to run.
Yeah, go ahead, Coach. Go ahead, Coach.
Everybody.
Mike, Coach, we'll talk to you soon. Mike, real quick, because we got to move on to our next segment. But what are your thoughts? The breaking news, the NBA. Basically, I was on with the NFL, and I legit had to stop dead sentence to break the news about James Harden. And then now you get Jared Allen, I think, for Victor Oladipo. What are your thoughts on the crazy day in the NBA, man?
We got Karis LeVert, man. Karis LeVert.
Oh, you got Karis LeVert too?
No, Jared Allen's in Cleveland.
Jared Allen's in Cleveland, really?
Jared Allen's in Cleveland. We got Karis LeVert.
So what are your thoughts on James? What are your thoughts on the new big three? Okay, we don't care about the Pacers. What are your thoughts about the new trade? We don't care about your Pacers. We don't care about your Pacers.
I gotta retire this shirt. I gotta retire this shirt. It's a legendary shirt, baby.
But what do you think about the new big three?
When we talked about if Kyrie actually cares about basketball, they're winning the chip. We know this. Like, they're winning the chip. If he buys in and if Kyrie buys in, moves to the 2, let James run the 1, and A buy in, they're winning the chip. There's nothing that's going to stop them. They're winning the chip, yo.
Okay, but listen, but listen. So we talk about the others. The only caveat is talking about the defensive presence, what they struggled with, and talking about the others. Do they have enough others? Do they have enough defense to contain the likes of Anthony Davis when it comes down? Do they have that perimeter defense that can help?
Who's going to guard them on the?
You don't answer a question with a question.
Anthony Davis. What are you talking about?
Listen, we don't answer a question with a question, Mike.
Is that my man?
Yes. So, Mike, answer my question first.
It's me.
Mike, answer my question first.
I didn't even know he was in here.
No, but Mike, answer my question first.
Oh,
they struggle with
guard
defense.
Anthony Davis?
No, I'm asking you, who's going to guard, who's going to play defense for their team?
Yeah.
And also, who's going to be coming off the bench now that they got rid of Karis LeVert? Who do you have?
They're going to throw a bunch. They're going to throw a bunch of DeAndre Jordans and all types of. There ain't nobody going to guard AD.
Smash.
This team is going to focus on. Ain't nobody guarding AD. AD going to get his 30.
Maybe they could trade for LaMarcus Aldridge.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, I thought Marcus Aldridge was better.
Can y'all let Mike talk?
Listen. It has never ever been cool to be a troll. Stop doing it. It's never been cool. It's always been a lame thing to do. Stop doing it. It's never been cool.
No, but Mike. But Mike, we've seen the Nets struggle defensively. Now you get rid of Jared Allen, who's one of your best defensive players.
So they'll struggle in the paint defensively, and that's going to hurt them against LeBron and AD from that perspective. But I just remind you of the Warriors. They're not the Warriors, but I remind you, the Warriors had the same struggles in the paint. That's where their weakness was. You had to attack them in the paint, but their perimeter was so powerful that your ability to attack the paint couldn't overwhelm their ability to score on the perimeter. This team right now, perimeter-wise, what is going to be any team's answer for the three of them? There's not going to be an answer. So I believe that will offset what AD and LeBron can potentially do in the paint. What they can do in the perimeter can offset that.
So what are your thoughts on what your Pacers did today? Are you happy with the moves?
Very happy. We got a young dude who can get 50, and he's not injury prone. This is a reminder.
He's gotten 50 once.
That means he can get it. What are you talking about? You know what get it means? That means he can get it. This is how English works, my young friend. I don't understand. Yo, let me explain this to y'all. This is a reminder for teams. We not like the Houstons and other franchises. The Pacers are very simple. If you run your mouth and say you want to leave, we already going to start planning a trade. Paul George tried it, ran your mouth, we get you out of here. Thank you, Sabonis. Victor Oladipo was talking, I love Vic, but he was talking crazy in the summer. Oh, I don't want to be, okay, bye-bye. We already had this in the works. Bye-bye. That's what happens with a team like ours. We're always trying to improve. I love, somebody just shouts out to my bro Smooth. I love this Malcolm Brogdon, who's been playing great this year. I love that Malcolm Brogdon, Sabonis, Karis LeVert, man, oh man. And the East, well, I was about to say the East is wide open. No, it is not.
Listen, today, yo, Mike, I thought I had a chance with Kyrie sitting out. And I'm like, all right, maybe I have a legit chance. But now I don't even know where to look, man. I'm like, there's no point.
Carl, we out here fighting for second place again. We out here fighting for second place.
I thought, listen, if you thought I was hurt when we lost to Miami, I think I'm more hurt now, knowing that I might not even have a chance at all. Like it stings. Bro, it's just like it doesn't make sense, bro.
The only hope is that. So, bro, this is LeBron's era looming yet again. This is what happens. Now only super teams, LeBron about to lose another chip.
I thought it wasn't cool to be a troll.
This is not trolling. This is part of the era. This is the era. I'm explaining an era, youngin.
Yeah, it hurts. You know, at the end of the day, it does hurt.
Getting sensitive.
Mike, before I let you go, what are your thoughts? I know, Mike, before I let you go, what are your thoughts on Kyrie and his whole situation about playing and taking days off and being off the grid? What are your thoughts real quick on that?
Man, I just think you just got to be a professional. That's all. The communication is the problem. People wouldn't have an issue if he would just communicate more. Your coach didn't know where you were. Nobody knows what's going on. Allegedly, some of the players do. So it's just about being a professional. You're a professional, and that's why I'm not calling him a leader, because he isn't one. And
right.
That's
so,
okay.
but according to Coach said that the team does know where he is. That's one. But do you have a problem with him just deciding that he doesn't want to play right now? Is that a big issue for you or no?
No. Listen, that's not especially not if it's reported that he wants to focus on the Black community and doing better for the community. I'm never going to be mad at that. If he wants to stop doing basketball to do that, that's fine. I think most people's issue is there's a professionalism that you're supposed to have in any work environment. We all have to understand that, especially if you're trying to be a leader like people believe Kyrie's trying to be, then there's a way in which you lead. And this is not how you lead. And they did not know initially, because Steve Nash was on national television and they asked him, where's Kyrie? He said, I don't know. So they did not know. So it's just been a lack of professionalism on his part. But listen, if the man wants to focus on social issues over basketball, you know I'm with that.
For sure. The one thing I will say, though, that kind of sucks is I would have been trying to get tickets to see Kyrie Irving, James Harden, and Kevin Durant. As much as they're not my team, but if my team came to town, I would love to see them play. Hopefully we still get to see that. Hopefully fans come back and we can get tickets. That we could actually see that.
I will go to. I will watch that. I will pay for that game.
Zig, what's wrong? Why are you shaking your head?
I'm just like, it don't matter who the Nets play. They could be playing the Sacramento Kings or the whoever that team is in Charlotte, the Hornets, Bobcats, whoever it is. James Harden, KD, and Kyrie Irving. I'm going there. If I got to be in level 200 at the very top, I will be there cheering. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. With that being said, Mike, I was going to say this really quickly, Mike. Yo, I was looking at the team because I'm not just looking at the Nets. I'm looking at each team that got involved in this trade. And what people are seeming to forget, Miles Turner seems to be getting better and better by the games, right? Aaron Holiday, he has his up and down moments. He's looking pretty good. He looked sweet and great yesterday. And then we forgetting that TJ Warren is also hurt. So when he comes back with Sabonis leading the charge, Karis LeVert, I'm like, man, this Pacers team got a little squad going on. You got to watch out for them. Everybody's talking about Boston and Philly. I always feel Philly is fool's gold. Indiana got a little squad. And really quickly, because we didn't touch on the team that was also involved in this, the Houston Rockets. The Houston Rockets also, to me, they got a little squad themselves. You know what I'm saying? They got Victor Oladipo. If he continues to get better, he's going to be able to play on both ends of the ball. You got John Wall. You got Christian Wood. You got DeMarcus Cousins coming off the bench. Out of those three teams, I would say they're the least to do anything, but I like the little thing that they're building up right over there, the foundation. And kudos to DeMarcus Cousins and John Wall for really telling it like it is, because with James Harden doing what he did, it kind of really held them back. And it's like, as John Wall said, a bunch of dudes from different states just getting together and playing as if they're an AAU team. Dudes are not standing up and cheering. And he was dropping a lot of subliminals telling you, hey, James Harden is the reason for all of this. So now that James Harden is gone, I'm really looking forward to see how the Houston Rockets blossom.
You and only you, Zig. I'm not interested in them at all. I will not watch another.
Listen, Zig. Listen, man. Me either. At this point, I agree with Falco. Let's just get to the finals, man. Lakers.
No. Listen, when you pay when you pay $250 for league pass, you watching every damn team. I don't want to hear that. I'm watching all.
I'm just and
you got my league pass too. I bet your ass gonna be watching too. Don't be sitting here capping.
I got league pass. I finally got league pass, fellas. I'm excited.
I don't know, man. Listen, I'm hoping I'm hoping that my tandem has to score 50 just to get there for them to even have a fighter's chance. Like, I thought we had a chance before James Harden. Now I'm looking at it like there's no chance at all. It's like
I think this is more going to be a chemistry.
Carl, I'll see you in the first round, second round. We'll just have some fun, and then one of us will lose to them.
Well, Falco, what'd you say? You said it's all about chemistry too, right?
I think this whole thing is going to be a chemistry experiment. Like, these guys are, especially Kyrie and James Harden, they're super ball dominant. I think James Harden, we've seen him average 34 a game last year, and the year before he averaged 36 a game. I think his points per game are going to have to come down about literally close to 10 points a game. I think it's going to be that much of a drastic difference. I think he's going to have to yes. What? James Harden, you think he's still going to be
10 points a game?
Dude, he averages 34. He's going to
average like 34 to 10.
Oh, I missed that. What was that?
You said 34 to 10. He can average 20.
Oh, no. I meant
34 to 10.
Less. No, I meant 10.
No. He said 10 points game less, Mike. 10 points game less.
Oh, okay. I'm about to say.
Yeah. 10 points game less. Yeah.
Average like 27, 28 a game versus the 34 to 36. And I think his assists are going to have to ramp up. I guess he's going to have to be the dominant point guard. I never seen Kyrie really play off the ball that much. Like, Kyrie's at his best playing iso ball, iso scoring.
Olympics?
Olympics? No, I know you're trying to say when he played with LeBron.
Olympics.
Kyrie's like, yeah, but Kyrie does his thing.
He did.
Dancing on a guy, iso scoring, getting to the rim, shooting from 3-point range, the mid range. That's where Kyrie's at his best. He's going
to play like what AI did when AI was in Philly.
No.
Yeah. He's going to have to. He's going to have to.
No, he's going to have to. No.
I guess.
No, he has to do it. He has to slide to the 2.
Yeah.
He has to be. LeBron knew to use him as a weapon. You're not running a point. LeBron said, I'm going to run a point. You be the weapon. So I just give it to you. You go get 30, but you don't run the team. James Harden's going to have to slide to that.
Right.
Point.
I feel like it's just hard. Like, it's like there's only one basketball, and you can only share the basketball so much between like you have the 3 best ISO scores in the league on one team. I think these are the best ISO scores 100%.
We'll all have to wait and see. But guys, thank you so much for joining us here. We'll definitely be keeping track. Say again.
You got another hour, B.
We'll definitely
this supposed to be all night. You're supposed to cancel football and NHL. What you doing?
They've been waiting, man. Listen, I cut off the NFL. Yeah, these guys are waiting.
Season about to start. They gotta go.
Yeah, their season's about to start, Mike. I'll talk to you guys soon. I'll talk to you guys
early for them. You can wait.
This season starts tonight. This season.
They gotta get on.
They've been waiting. Look at them, Mike. Yo, Mike, they've been waiting.
Mike on that.
Yeah, they've been waiting for you, man. They've been waiting.
My man Mikey on that. Mike Phillips on that. I'm out.
What's up, Zig?
Mikey on that. I'm out.
My man, Mike.
Man.
That's Mike.
Yes,
that's
sir.
Mikey with his foot up.
No, that's Andrew. Andrew, man.
Mike, I'm out.
You guys take
Who is
care.
That with their foot up?
That's Andrew. I don't even think he knows that we're logged on. Yo, all right, Mike. I'll talk to you, man.
Mike,
you guys
go Rangers. Fuck the Islanders.
Foot up,
Yo, my man Ziggy.
Thank you guys for being so patient and being flexible enough to change. I know I was supposed to have you on earlier, but the James Harden trade to Brooklyn kind of wiped out everything else. I even cut the NFL off quickly. NHL is back tonight. Chuck, the Islanders, baby, we here, right? We here for a new season.
Here, Carl. Tomorrow night it starts. Tomorrow night.
Andrew, get your foot. I don't even know if he knows we're on because his foot is legit like on set. I don't even think he realizes that his foot is on. But Mike and Mike,
Ryan.
say it again.
It's the Rex Ryan with the toes.
But guys, are you guys excited for the kickoff of hockey tonight? Mike Phillips, what are your thoughts?
I'm very excited. We're only gonna have 56 games, right? So every game is going to matter. We're not gonna have the regular 82 game season. Teams are gonna have to play each other 9 or 10 times. They're gonna be playing within their own division. So we're really gonna be able to see who's gonna actually come to the cream of the crop. I already have some early predictions, but I'll talk about them in a few. But I'm actually very excited. Very excited.
Andrew, you finally decided to show up, and it wasn't your foot anymore. Thank you for joining us. How you doing, sir?
Doing good. I'm happy I finally got hockey back. We got basketball in full swing, football playoffs. We're coming a little bit back to normal reality.
So Chuck, man, talk to me about the Islanders. How excited are you for this season?
Carl, I cannot wait for this, especially the run that they went on last year in the bubble and everything. The team is back together. They didn't make any big moves additional wise. They did lose a couple of pieces, but the team's locked, loaded, and ready to go on another run.
Sparacino, what are your thoughts here, man, with the NHL coming back tonight?
Well, my thoughts on the NHL coming back tonight. I am excited, man. I mean, we've waited a long time. The playoffs feels like it was 3 years ago with how everything's been going. So I just want to watch my Rangers. I want to watch Alexis Lafreniere. I want to watch Capo Caco. I want to watch Igor Shesterkin, Zibanejad, Panarin, you name them. I'm excited to see my team play.
Andrew, I know your Broncos are not in the playoff contention, so all you got, and there's no baseball, so you got some hockey. How excited are you for tonight?
I'm very excited. And just to jump on what Sparacino just said, naming the whole roster like he's the PA announcer, I'm curious to see how this Ranger team builds. Like I bought NHL 21 and playing it.
That was a mistake.
I play them all. And seeing Shesterkin in net, aside from Lundqvist, it dawned on me like this is a new era of New York Rangers hockey. So they had something brewing just before the pandemic hit, and unfortunately they had a poor showing in the once-in-a-lifetime bubble tournament. But if this young team can put something together similar to that, and especially with the young talent, and like Sparacino says, I am very excited to see Lafreniere play. Who knows? Philadelphia is going to be a tough team in the division. The Islanders are definitely going to try and reach that plateau again. You have the Lightning. Well, the Lightning are the Lightning are. We don't have to deal about the Lightning in this new division, right?
No.
But we have a young Buffalo team. We have the Bruins. The Bruins are still a team to reckon with. It's going to be a very competitive season. It's going to go the route baseball did with a regional schedule. But in hockey, I feel like it's going to be more competitive. You play your division rivals 8 times. And there'll be lots of fighting. A lot of fighting, a lot of ratings.
So now with the NBA, we saw some COVID. We're seeing some COVID issues. We saw it in the NFL season. We did see it in the MLB. How has hockey or the NHL planned to take on COVID during the season? Postponement of games? Do they have rules for quarantine? How often the players going to get tested? What's the new COVID protocol entering into the season, Chuck?
So the NHL already has COVID issues. The Dallas Stars have an outbreak. I believe their first 6 games or something are already postponed. But what I like what the NHL is doing is they basically remade the whole league. And like Andrew was just touching on, now there's 4 new divisions. So all the Canada teams are just playing in Canada. All the teams in the Northeast are just playing the Northeast. All the teams out on the West Coast are playing just on the West Coast. And all the teams down South are just playing down South. So I think by keeping these teams geographically, close where they don't have to travel much is a good step. And now they also have taxi squads. So God forbid a player comes down with COVID and, they can't field a team like kind of like what you're seeing with the NBA. Now these teams can just pick players off of their taxi squad to just come on the ice and play for that game. And I saw earlier today what teams are also doing now is they're keeping players that play the same position kind of away from each other. So like the goalies will be in separate rooms having separate meetings and whatnot. So that way, if a player does get it, he doesn't, spread it to the rest of that unit.
So, Mike Phillips, we shouldn't have any issues with NHL players going to strip clubs or going to get chicken wings or partying too much, because we don't hear the rumblings about NHL players like we do with the other NBA or NFL players. So we shouldn't have those problems, right?
If you've ever been to a spot in Canada, you know what the Canadians are going to be doing, but that's a different story. What it really comes down to is, as you saw with the bubble, when the NHL had their bubble tournament, you really didn't see any cases. Right. So this is how they're mitigating it, while they're keeping everybody in as Charlie said, in a geographical area. So the Canadian teams only playing the Canadian teams, East Coast, West Coast, all of that coming together, it should mitigate it some more. Unfortunately, COVID is its own beast, right? We can't say what it's going to happen. These different states, these different areas, they're just having uptakes, right? And we're seeing it more and more. Hopefully with the vaccine, all sports will go into better seating and there'll be, better results once the vaccine. I don't know why it hasn't gone to the players yet with everybody else receiving it. That should have been something that should have been on there. But I think, listen, hockey players know how to still have fun, Carl. So don't get that twisted.
Listen.
Have you seen what players have done with their days with the cup, Carl?
Yes. You know what the problem is, Carl? And I'll tell you this. They're not as pronounced as a basketball player. So a hockey player going into a strip club or somewhere looks like a regular, for the most part, looks like a regular person missing the teeth. James Harden walking into a strip club, it's James Harden. The difference there. So you could be sitting right next to one and not even know it.
I absolutely. Sparacino, so I know we love to do this as sports fans. We love to make predictions for the seasons. And then when we look back at the predictions, we're like, what the hell were we thinking when we made this? So is it fair to say
that's the best?
You're right. But so is it fair to say that you can make a prediction for a breakout team this year, especially now with no fans in sports and how they in hockey for this season?
Picking one breakout team
or teams or any teams that the fans should look out for going into the season.
The Rangers.
That's the biased and the obvious pick.
That's a biased one.
For a select few players, absolutely. Lafreniere and Miller. But if I had to pick one team, that's tough because the way the divisions are aligned, it's just like you can kind of see like which teams are gonna make the playoffs and which teams aren't. So I don't know. Choosing a team that's really poised to break out. Okay, instead of answering who's gonna break out, I'll say who's gonna have a bounce back season. I'll go the Ottawa Senators because they added a lot this offseason. They had a very underrated offseason, but they're still not there yet to get back to the playoffs, but they're going to be very much improved. So
that's a very popular sleeper pick.
Andrew, any chance of Tampa Bay repeating?
They have
or how did they look going into it after coming off the Stanley Cup championship?
They will be competitive. There is such a thing as a Stanley Cup hangover. It's very hard to get back there. It's even hard. It's hard to get back to the East or West finals, depending on where you are geographically. They do have the depth. They'll have Steven Stamkos. They'll be all right.
They'll be all right. That's the best way to put it. And Chuck, what are your aspirations for the Islanders? I know we're big on that. I'm gonna try to watch as many games as I can. But
honestly, after their run last year, I think you're looking at a cup or bust mentality for not only this year, but maybe like the next 2 or 3 years. They're right up against the cap, so they don't have the space to go out and make major moves. And this is kind of like their window to win now. Their style of play, succeeds in the postseason, and we saw that in the bubble. So it's just them. And I think a shortened regular season helps them also because like the style they play is very hard hitting, a big, you got to give it 110, 120% every night. So playing less than the 82 games, I think is going to be really beneficial for them. And also, like everybody keeps saying, all these rivalry games are going to be great. Like the Islanders, like they're going to get up for these games. They're going to want to beat the Rangers because the Rangers have always been, the talk of the town and whatnot. They got the number one pick, so they're still the talk of the town. And I think the Islanders are going to show, hey, we were for real last year. This isn't. Yeah, Andrew, keep doing it.
Defend the city, baby.
So I think the Islanders are going to show that we are for real. I think everybody's going to want to take that next step forward. And I think playing in the bubble last year really formed chemistry with this team. And I know the NBA guys were just talking about how is chemistry going to be now with Harden, Kyrie, and KD. Well, the Islanders, think about it, last year, they spent like 2 months together and on a hotel floor. So I think from everything that I've seen and heard from the players and everything, it sounds like this is like a really close, tight-knit group, like a family, and they got the people in place to run it well, and Lou and Trot. So cup or bust, Carl. That's what I got to say.
I actually have to jump in on that. I think what hurt the Islanders was, believe it or not, getting rid of Derek Brassard. I think he was a big move for them in the last offseason, and he played a pivotal role, I think, on that Islanders team, especially with his puck handling and with his, just the way he managed the game for them, especially for the younger squad. So I'm very curious to see who steps up in his absence now that he's not on the team anymore. I'm sorry, Carl. I know I just wanted to jump in on that, but I know you.
No, that's cool. Yeah. So, Sparacino. So, what's the ceiling for that? I know the Rangers are coming off the pick, and the lottery team. And what's the expectations for them going into this? I know they're a young team trying to grow together. So, is there really a set expectation, or is it just still a learning curve?
Well, for me, it's seeing how some of the rookies and the second-year players develop. Also on like Philip Hedl as well, because we're like, this team is at the point where we have so many young players. I forget whether we're the youngest or the second youngest team in the league. So I wouldn't put a playoffs or bust season, but this season is going to hinge on how the rookies do, how the young players develop from last year. Do we see progression from other players? Do we see regression? There's also still a lot of question marks with the lineup choices, but it's not a playoffs or bust. Let's just leave it at that.
All right. Guys, any final thoughts here that you want to make before we head off? Before I sign off, that people should know.
Yeah. I was going to piggyback off Sparacino. For the Rangers, it's up to the guys like Panarin, Zibanejad, and Kreider, because I think they're the veterans of the team, it's safe to say, to help mold that young talent, especially since you have a second-year Capo Caco and you got Lafreniere coming in. And we know they're talented. It's up to them to find that mesh. And versus Skarskin and Gorgiev.
Andrew, say his name right, please. Shesterkin.
I said Shesterkin, didn't I?
No, you said Shesterkin.
I might have glitched. Give me that. But anyway, it's up. Those two goalies, it's on them now. They're stepping in and filling big skates in Henrik Lundqvist's position, and what Henrik Lundqvist meant not only to that position, not only to the team, but to the city. So it's a make the playoffs year, see where we can go from there. Because once you're in the Stanley Cup playoffs, anything can happen, really. Yeah, but and your fallback is you learn from it. Same with my Broncos, Carl.
I'll jump in there on my final thoughts. Two things. I tip my hat to Henrik Lundqvist. If he is possibly going to call it a career because of the open heart surgery, he had an amazing career. I'm sad that the Rangers were never able to give him a cup, but he was truly a class act on and off the ice. So I do tip my hat to Henrik. I hope maybe he can come back for one more season, play for a competitor or a contender and really be able to shine. And then with the Rangers, just to end on that, because I am a Rangers fan, I think this is, as Sparacino said, as Andrew said, I think this is going to be a telltale sign season. A lot of these young players that have already been in the league with us for 2 to 3 years, maybe even more, this is going to be either their breakout season or this is going to be their season where we're going to start using them as assets and try to find some veterans to be able to mesh with some of these younger players. So this is where this season is going to be even more important. And this is why every single game is going to be more important. And that goes for any team going forward.
Final thoughts.
I think real quick, as I think Mike just hit on the head, every single game is going to be so important because of the shortened season, kind of like what we saw during the MLB season. Every game matters. I think the East Division is going to be the most competitive division in the whole league. That might be a little biased because our teams are in it, but Boston's good, Philly's good, Pittsburgh's good, Washington's good, the Islanders are good, the Rangers could even be good. They got a lot of talent. The Devils, I don't think are going to be so good.
They'll be a wild card. They'll be a team you got to watch out for. Like they can.
But even the Sabres could be, a sleeper team with Hall and Eichel and whatnot. So it's going to be a fun ride. I can't wait to see Calgary and Edmonton play each other, 10 times. It's going to be wild. And my cup prediction as of right now is Tampa, Colorado.
All right.
I said the Golden Knights. The Knights take it this year. They finally win the cup.
Sparacino, final thoughts?
I'll piggyback off of Charlie. Cup final, Colorado going over. You know what, Tampa, because I can't pick another team.
You guys, thank you again for being so patient and dealing with this whole today. This is the life of sports when breaking news happens. And I think Charlie called it too. He did call it right before I went on. He said you did say
I put Kyrie on blast in the group, and then 5 seconds later,
I know it's I'm about to go cry my sorrows because I thought my team had a chance in the East. Now we have no chance in hell, in the words of Vince McMahon, that we're getting anywhere. I don't think any team.
Did the Jets have a coach yet?
No,
not yet.
All right.
Not yet. There's a lot buzzing. But you guys enjoy those games tonight. What's up?
Flyers are about to drop
real quick. Carl, it's all right because in the middle of June we're gonna be on Hempstead Turnpike going live to watch the parade.
Listen, I'm telling you, man. Elmont Deli. We're gonna go to Elmont Deli, get some nice subs. Then we'll go get some drinks at Umberto's. Umberto's is great down there too. Listen, I'll show you all the spots at Elmont, baby. Shout out to Elmont 237.
Carl,
you guys know the vibes.
Can I put one actual final thought in?
Go ahead, sir.
Go Rangers, Islanders.
Go Islanders, baby! Go Islanders! Shout out to Elmont. Shout out to Elmont, baby. We know the vibes. Listen, we're gonna hop on that Cross Island Parkway.
I even got the Christmas hat. Come on.
We're gonna stop on the Cross Island Parkway. Chuck, pull up, man. Pick me up. Let's do this, man. Let's do it.
Listen, we'll all go there to watch the Rangers beat the Islanders. It's okay.
I'm game. Let's do it. Let's do it together. Hitless on the streets. You guys take care. Please make sure you like, share, comment, subscribe to all the Sports Hitless content. Make sure you check out the Worldwide Sports Radio Network and all their content. We got Errol's show coming up next. Down to the wire. You guys take care.
Carl, we got to get you on the ice.
Yes, we got that.
I will pay for that.
I love you guys. I'll talk to you soon.